So that certain Aquaman starlet's team has decided to start deleting evidence as they were busted in the courtroom doing something they're not allowed. You can see it happening right here. This is Eve Barlow, a person who's tried to flag down this channel multiple times, also calls themselves a journalist. Well, they were caught passing notes to that certain Aquaman starlet. We're going to talk about that today and what they did to delete evidence. Fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. So, hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. Quickly, before we get to this bombshell, check out Back Our Book. Link is in the description. This is our way of countering companies that do not respect you. They allowed things like this to happen. Move on from them, move to something better, and thank you. So first thing, I want to show you some footage. This footage, in my opinion, is undeniable because you can see, again, Eve Barlow, they get a message right here. It works its way in. They open it up. Obviously, it's coming from that certain Aquaman starlet. You are not allowed to do this in a courtroom. Not allowed to do that at all. Now, when I first saw that, by the way, I thought, these folks, they're definitely going to try to maintain deniability. They're going to say something like the person here on the end. You notice that they have a notebook. They're the ones that wrote this out. Well, luckily, somebody broke this down. And when you break it down, it makes it look even worse. So here's the first screenshot. This is number one. You can see that just prominently displayed. It points to this person again. I'm sure that they'll try to use them as part of deniability. Now, if you watch the reactions to the people here, what exactly they're doing, you can tell that that's not the case. This person, they didn't create that. It was actually a note, handoff. You'll notice here, this is Eve Barlow. Again, Eve Barlow, they tried to take down this channel repeatedly. They are a travel partner with that certain Aquaman starlet. But beyond that, they are listed as a journalist. So this, it would involve somebody real time slipping notes from where they're setting with the defense to slipping notes to a journalist. You can't do that. Well, you see right here, she's in the middle of a conversation, not paying attention at all. This person, they decide they need to get their attention. Why? Because again, a note is inbound. Now, as far as damage control is concerned, number 3 here, it absolutely obliterates any of that. And like I said, I know that certain Aquaman starlet and their team, they're going to try to say that note, it came from a person over there. Yeah, you can tell that it didn't. So, Eve Barlow's attention has been gotten. You know, that person, they made contact, but instead of Eve Barlow making eye contact back with them in the aftermath and having the note directly go to them, there's a delay. They break off conversation. They point to themselves. So they're trying to say here, hey, are you trying to get my attention? Are you wanting me to do something in that? And look at where they're looking. They are not looking over to their right. They're not paying any attention to the person that initially got them. You know, they're paying attention to that certain Aquaman starlet. So again, this is proof of where that's going to come from. Now in shot number 4, you can see that arrive. And if you look at how the hand is positioned, she actually does get some help from that person on their right. They help them with it. They hand the note to them somewhat. But if you look at how they have their hand extended, exactly where they're looking at, they're not watching it come from that direction. What they're doing is they're watching again that certain Aquaman starlet. They have a note that's coming in, that person, they've helped pick it up. They're going to hand it off. Again, it's all in the way that she's looking. It's all in the way that her arm is extended. 100% deniability wreckage. Now in this last picture, you can easily tell she has that note in her hand. And what's fascinating about this, as soon as these people get out of the courtroom, guess what happens? A lot of information online, it suddenly is redacted and disappears. All types of evidence, poof, it's gone. See, if you were to look at Eve Barlow's Instagram just a few days ago, you couldn't scroll through it without tripping over a post that referred to that certain Aquaman starlet. Now, when you go through it, most of those things have disappeared. Her Instagram is still there, mind you. A lot of her posts are still there. But the things that could be utilized for evidence, the things that could actually refute or disprove anything that associates herself with that certain Aquaman starlet, those things, they disappear. Now, what I'm talking about with that, too, is this. There could be pictures out there that showcase what she was doing at the time that doesn't match up with statements. You have this person doing direct damage control. They, for example, have gone after my accounts over and over again. They are in direct connection with doxing groups behind the scenes, people that have been filing false police reports, for example, people that have been putting out the private information of folks that talk about this, including, I would imagine, anyone that's been connected with this case. I saw the name and I saw the intimate details of one witness, for example, that had been brought up. When you start connecting all of those things, of course they need to scrub that. Of course they need to make that stuff go away, because it is a big problem for that certain Aquaman starlet. It is a big problem for Eve Barlow. If any of that was ever dragged into the court, yeah, that wouldn't be good at all. As I've said in other videos too, this person, they know a lot about what's happening behind the scenes. In fact, what you see in front of you here, for example, they were talking about something that was going to come out in the courtroom. You had a document that had been filed. It wouldn't come out for another day. There was a portion of it that had been redacted for the public. So you and we couldn't see what was there, but Eve Barlow knew what was there. She was able to fill in the blanks. And you know what those blanks were? Attacking people that talked about this, namely yours truly. You can see her doing that right here. YouTube. So they tag in YouTube, trying to take me down. Why do you continue to allow the account ThatUmbrellaGuy to post freely after repeatedly violating privacy rights surrounding information pertaining to JD versus that certain Aquaman starlet trial that is yet to take place in court? It is a grave security risk. By the way, going over public documents, the things that are publicly available to the court, that's not a security risk. But I would say if anything is a security risk, maybe, just maybe, having someone like this connected to things, having them passing notes back and forth, doing dirty work for them. Again, removing information while you're in the middle of a case, that might be a problem, and a big one at that. See, we already have proof that people behind the scenes that, again, were filing false police reports, they were attacking people's identities, they were reporting to that certain Aquaman starlet's team. I mean, you can see that right here. Please don't tell anyone in the other group that we know the identities of redacted yet. We'll keep that hush until we know what that certain Aquaman starlet's team will do with that info. Well, these folks, they weren't just tied to the team, they were tied to that certain Aquaman starlet, and they were tied to a certain person, Eve Barlow, that had direct connection with them. Yeah, you can understand why they might be passing notes, telling them, get rid of that stuff. Get rid of that stuff now. What do I know though, right? Anyway, as I said before, check out and back our project. It is live right now on Indiegogo. Link is in the description. This is our way to combat industry that allows things like this to happen. This stuff is crazy too. It's going to get crazier as we go forward. Walk away from those companies. Walk towards something better, something that respects you, will give you good products. Thank you too. Appreciate you sincerely. Going to end here. Thank you again. See you soon.